Alright, so it's another day and we're getting back at her. I know some of you guys are pissed off that I'm scrapping this old truck, but not really, but a few reasons. Like, you know, the cab is all messed up. Like, this is really bad. You have to find another cab. I'm sure there's some guys that can fix this, but it ain't me. The body mounts underneath are all rotted. The roof is rotted. The other main reason why I'm scrapping this too is because you get pulled over by the MTO, Ministry of Transport up here in Canada. They're going to run your VIN number, and whatever that truck came with from the factory, say air pump and exhaust manifolds with the air tubes in it, EGR valve, which it doesn't have anymore, there's going to be a fine for each one of those. It doesn't matter if you put a car, I could put a motor from a 1990 or a LS3 in here or something like that and it passed the emissions check, and let's say it was 0 emissions, you still don't have that stuff on there, they're still fining you, which is a bunch of bullshit, because I've seen them go after a bunch of cars on the road, like a 72 Camaro or a in this case, what year was that, 76 Camaro. It didn't have the charcoal canister over here on it. They gave that guy a big fine. Yeah, it's not fair, but that's what they do. That's how they justify their working, I guess, their job. Like I said, if I put a motor in there that had 0 emissions, it wouldn't matter. If it didn't have that pollution stuff on, that it came from the factory, they're gonna fine you, which is bullshit, but that's the way she goes. But that's the other decision there. Anyway, I want to make something cool out of this, so let's get at her. First thing is, we're gonna clean this mess out of here and maybe get some seats out of there. Okay, as you can see, someone's replaced the cab mount there, but if you get back in here, like this whole thing it's rotten. You can see where it come down. It's time. You know, you could have found another cab, I guess, but just as easy. I have something else in mind. I'm excited about it, but I have to lot of stuff on the go, so I'm probably gonna work on this a little bit, then work on something else a little bit, then change a little bit here and there. Alright, about an hour later and 2 garbage bags. Got the mess all out of there. Let's get the seats out next. Alright, so you can see the cobblization someone had for seat mounts. Hey, look at that. Talk about not safe to drive. That's just wild. And that one, it's all crooked, bubblegum weld on it. Alright, let's get the rest of this mess cleaned up. Another garbage bag full. And some more treasures. Live round 22 shell all corroded. I wonder if it would actually fire. I bet it would. Alright, so that mess is all cleared out of there. Yeah, you can see the nice seat mounts that were put in there. I guess they work. Alright, next we're going to do the body mounts, and then I'm going to come rip the steering column and pedals out of this, and the hydro boost. Now my idea for that cab is to stick it right there in front of that rad. Maybe put the rad in the back somewhere and have the cab overhang, have it come right about there, and put the fenders back on it. We'll see. I want something different, but I don't know how it's gonna look. It may end up back over here, back where it should be. I might just put it up there just for looks to see what it would look like with the front end and see how the fenders line up before I take the cowl off those fenders all stuck together. I might come and put it right on there, plunk. But it may have to drain the rad out of there, get the rad out and everything. Anyway, next step. Alright, the next step is, let's get these, I think there's six cab mount bolts off. These aren't going to come out with the, I'm probably going to end up cutting them with the torch. Hopefully not. Holy, believe that? Awesome! The less torches I have to use, the better. It saves my oxygen, which I'm almost out, but there are probably going to be a few bolts I'm going to have to cut, so let's get at her. Alright, 5 of the 6 came out. I'm going to have to torch the last one. It's just spinning in there, and I decided to save some of these old lap belt seat belts for the next one. I'll torch some of them off too. Alright, let's see if I can melt the lens on my new camera. That's where I start a fire. Oop. That's got it. And we don't have any fire yet. Okay, let's cut the seat belts out of there. I wish that would have come off. I cut the floor out around it. Oh, let's try that. Just an old patch holding it on there. Really don't know what it's bolted into. That's really nothing. Seat belts in this truck were pretty well useless. Come back to you once I get that out of there. Alright, that's a little scary to think that those seat belts will just bolt it right to the floor like that and that was it. Even that side was just rotten. Yeah, just bolt it right to that thin gauge steel to the floor, which is all rotted out. Wow. Really? Anyway, I'm going to save the lap belts. In this case I want to use them. It's because I don't have to have a shoulder harness. I've registered that cab as a 36. I won't have to have seat belts at all, which is really scary. But anyway. Alright, so next step is we're going to pull the steering column out and brake, booster, and pedals, and I might use the gas pedal off of this to put down on the trike because it's old enough to have, it'll hook up to the carburetor the same. Alright, so I was on holidays last week. I had a lot of fun doing video every day. It was kind of hard sometimes to get it out on time, and the computer screwed up a few times, but anyway, so progress made. We're going to have to clean this mess up over here off of Tankenstein. I should get back at work on that. I have to finish the box off. I don't know. A bunch of stuff. Anyway, so we're going to check this one out and see what I'm going to have to do to mount this on top of that frame. I'm going to have to build a subframe under here that'll mount on top of here. And I might make it so it'll slide in so I can change it on some 4x4 posts or something like that. Steel post, so I'm gonna have it slide, the cab slide in on top of that, and we're gonna build a subframe under here, and we got lots of body patching to do, make it safe for the road. That's another day. Please comment, rate, and subscribe.